Bump Effin Day. Alright, so a little bit of a background story here. I was actually at work when Bump Day actually finished. I went in at 4 o'clock, and at the time, it was kind of still uncertain who would be bumped. So, it was around my break time at work, pulled up my phone, opened the IndyCar app, went to the results from Bump Day, which were already open. Actually, I should say the live timing, which was already open on my phone because I was keeping an eye on it when I was driving in. And saw that James Hinchcliffe was last. So I was like, alright, well, this can't be right. So I force quit the app, reopened it, and the first thing I saw was this. Now, naturally, my reaction to this was, well, it went something like this.
Hold on a second.
And then it took a second or two for me to sort of register everything. And then it kind of sounded like this. So, yeah, James Hinchcliffe, the 2016 Indianapolis 500 pole sitter, was bumped today. What the hell? Oh, okay, alright, you know what? We're going to take this one step at a time, and we're going to analyze exactly how this happened. So James Hinchcliffe was the first driver to go out after the first rain delay, which means that he essentially went out onto a green racetrack. In other words, meaning there was no real rubber buildup on the track, which means less grip. And this gave him a pretty slow run. Actually put him last at the time when he actually went out and qualified. So he was pretty much stuck there until the end when they started putting second, third runs in. And he went out again, and the car had a vibration issue. Now, I still haven't seen any word as to what that issue could have been from. Could have been tire related, could have been suspension. I'm not completely sure, but they had to scrub that run, and they brought it right back into the pits. Meanwhile, you have drivers like Graham Rahal going back out to try to improve his time, and you have Pippa Mann trying to find her way into the field. Well, that's it. There was no more time left on the clock for James Hinchcliffe to go back out, and there's his day done. And it seems like just in the blink of an eye, everything can go from perfectly fine to a huge disaster. And I think that in essence, is what Bump Day means. And we saw a lot of people who are critics of Bump Day earlier in the year, particularly on Twitter when it was first announced that we would have bumping. There were people saying, well, why? Why would you invest all this money? How is it fair to the teams, to the drivers, that go out here and invest all this time and money to eventually be told, sorry, can't be here race day, we only have 33. Today, we saw the true meaning behind Bump Day once again, for the first time since really 2011, if I'm honest. You see, the thing is, all the teams, all the drivers are aware of what Bump Day means. And when they go into an event like this, they're aware that there's not a 100% guaranteed chance that they'll actually make it to the race. This is something that they have to accept from the very beginning. And while my heart goes out to James Hinchcliffe and Pippa Mann, it's the name of the game. It's unfortunately, whether you like it or not, the situation that is in place for the Indianapolis 500, and it has been since the beginning. So another thing I want to touch on here is that there were a lot of people who were very critical of Pippa Mann, saying that she should have scrubbed her final run because it wasn't worth it. She wasn't going to make it into the field, and that was pretty clear based on her pace. And to that I say, you know what? Bump Day is a war. You're either going to kill or you're going to get killed. And I think that Pippa Mann, like James Hinchcliffe himself said, had every single right to stay out on track and fight until the very, very end for a spot on track. And the same thing applies to Rahal and Rossi as well. And sure, it's a massive shame that we see a full season driver like James Hinchcliffe being out of the running. Now, granted, he might end up getting Jay Howard's car, but we're not confirmed on that at the moment. We'll have to see. But it's a massive shame, of course. But it is the name of the game. And I think that this sends out a clear message. Bump Day is back, baby. Just remember, kill or get killed. So whether you're a fan or not of bumping cars out of one of the most prestigious races in the world, that's up to you. But like it or not, this is the system in hand. And the drivers accept this, the teams accept this. Sure, it involves pain. Sure, it involves disappointment. But then again, that is the spirit of Bump Day. Anyway, that was just a short little ramble here. I just wanted to get a couple things off my chest. If you enjoyed that, you can subscribe to the channel. I'll have some more content coming out later this week. You might want to check it out. It involves some sort of retro IndyCar gaming. I'll just give that off as a little hint. Anyway, like the video if you enjoyed it. Other than that, this is Deductive Rain, and I'll catch you in the next one.